I thought it would be maybe a little lower, but I guess I wasn't too surprised when I found that it was about the middle of the pack. You sort of have that mentality that there's always room for improvement, so you always want to be, I guess, higher up on the list. Well, I think it certainly has its pros and cons. In terms of activity and things like that, it's a huge sports town, so there's always opportunity for availability for parks. There's a huge uprising with hockey now that we have the Penguins that have been doing so well lately. So everybody's always been into baseball, and certainly with the Steelers with football. So from an activity and a sports aspect, it certainly is well there. From a health standpoint, I know that we certainly need to get our grip on the smoking problem in Pittsburgh, and just in general getting through to some people. I think we have some work to do there. I am working a lot with physical activity and weight management, so behavioral modifications for weight loss strategies, changing diet, changing fitness, increasing physical activity. Obviously the obesity epidemic is huge. It's a huge issue. So that's certainly something that we're working on at the University of Pittsburgh, trying to get our hands around, and just like anywhere else, Pittsburgh's affected by that. Well, certainly through the university, there's a lot of community outreach programs. I know specifically in our office, we're always recruiting for weight loss interventions. Dr. Jakizik is a huge advocate for physical activity and weight loss. So certainly his programs are always open and available for the public. And I know out of Trees Hall in Oakland, sort of in the heart of the campus, they do a lot of community outreach with some of the underserved minority individuals in the Hill District. Is a big area where they do community wellness and programs of the sort. So. Right off the bat, you always see Seattle, Portland, Denver. Those always seem like the more active cities. So those certainly don't surprise me. I guess I was a little surprised by Washington, D.C. being #1. You just kind of think that the bigger cities maybe don't have the room to go out and if you want to take a jog through the middle of the city or ride a bike, maybe it's not always so bike friendly. I know that's a big issue in Pittsburgh. We have a lot of cyclists, and there's really not a lot of room for them to ride their bike around town, or at least safely anyhow. So I know that's a huge thing that they've been pushing for. But you kind of always, like I said, you always see those same cities at the top, and unfortunately the same ones at the bottom. But you kind of always, like I said, you always see those same cities at the top, and unfortunately the same ones at the bottom.